Yo, 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 what's going on, y'all? It is your boy, one physical therapist assistant. No intro today, y'all. You know why? Because I got 3 coworkers chilling in their cars right now. I can't be making my intros with people chilling in their cars. I'm self-aware, all right? Self-aware. But no, I think they working doubles, so I'm getting off, leaving for the day, and they are chilling in their cars for a little bit. I guess they're taking a break before the next half. A lot of people be working doubles, y'all. I'm talking 16-hour days. So they take a nice break at around 3 something. Ooh, that's tough. That's for the young kids. The young kids can do that. The young kids, nurses and CNAs, they be doing that a lot, taking on doubles. I hope y'all doing okay today. I had another government employee today that I met for the first time, y'all. Another government employee worked at the Pentagon. The Pentagon. Did I tell y'all whenever I meet these government employees, these former government employees, I be trying to get secrets out of them? Did I tell you that? I swear I be trying. Give me some secrets, y'all. Tell me some stuff. Give me some classified stuff. Some stuff that I'm not supposed to know. But you know what? I got to give them credit. If anybody's watching out there from the government, you work at the Pentagon or you work in the, secret society, they are not giving up your secrets. I'm talking 90-year-olds. They are not giving up the classified stuff that they know. I think I would be like, you know what? I don't know. No, I met a 90-plus-year-old who said that she can't give up no good classified info. So I told her, I said, just give me something, ma'am. What do you got? Give me something that I might not know about what goes on in the Pentagon. You know what she told me? She's in her 90s, so she worked way back in the day. She said a lot of people will be caught making love in the elevators. That was as much as she could give me. A lot of people used to make love in the elevators. I guess they didn't have cameras in the elevators back then like we do now. So she said a lot of people were making loves. I said, well, how would you know this? She said, oh, I would walk by and I would catch them all the time when the doors open. She said it happened a lot. She's 90-something years old. But yeah, she said that's all she could give me. Other than that, it was kind of mundane, nothing exciting. But there was a lot of love making going on in the elevators at the Pentagon. Anybody up for an investing lesson? Is anybody up for a long-term investing lesson? Huh? How about a story? I met a gentleman a few weeks ago. I've been saving this story because I wanted to make sure I presented it right according to him. So you got to understand when I present these stories come from my patients. I can't 100% verify them, but they come from my patients. And then when I cross-reference or look up the research of what their stories would mean, what would amount to, oh yeah, I usually get good confirmation. So I met a guy. Let's just set it up like this. So I walked into a man's room, right? He has on a bright green shirt. I'm seeing from the back, sitting in a wheelchair, from the back, bright green shirt. So I asked his name because I know his name, but I asked his name, then he turns around. And when he turns around, on that bright green shirt is yellow letters. And spelled the words John Deere. Anybody heard of John Deere? I'm sure you heard of John Deere, especially if you live in the country. If you live in rural areas, John Deere is very, very popular and prevalent. Has a lot to do with farming equipment, has a lot to do with lawnmowers. I myself own a John Deere mower. Let me tell you about my John Deere mower real quick. I gotta give it a shout out. Good God, I'm going on like 17 years of living in my crib, right? I bought one lawnmower, a riding lawnmower, a John Deere, the green paint and the yellow letters. Very, very well known. I bought one lawnmower 17 years ago. I've changed the battery a few times. Battery is gonna die a few times. Changed the battery. I changed the oil regularly myself. Other than that, I have not had any issues. I haven't even changed the blades. 17 years, I have not changed the blades. 17 years, I have not changed the blades on this mower. I have not changed the belts. I am dead serious. This thing is a well-built piece of machinery. I got to give credit to this company, this lawnmower. I love this thing. I used to cut the grass. My son cuts the grass now. He still hasn't had any problems. A couple of times it couldn't start because it needed a battery. But this thing has been a tank. So shout out to John Deere. But when the gentleman turned around with the green shirt and the letters on, he had a John Deere shirt on. So I say, oh, I like your John Deere shirt. I said, I have a John Deere mower. And the first thing he said to me, he was like, oh, that's a good piece of equipment you got there. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm going to have to excuse me. I got a piece of watermelon sitting on my car seat that had a little function. I told y'all it's always food in nursing homes. Always food. Today is the 3rd of July, so get ready going to the 4th of July. So they had hot dogs, hamburgers, corn on the cob, all that stuff, and watermelon. I had to grab me some watermelon. I love watermelon. I love watermelon almost as much as I love mango. Mango is up there. Watermelon is next. My man goes on to say, that's a good piece of equipment. I said, yeah, man, thing's been running good. I really like it. I said, where you get your shirt from? I'm expecting him to say, somebody bought it from Tractor and Supply, or, somebody bought it for him. But he said, I worked for the company for 40 plus years and I got a whole lot of them. I said, what? He said he worked over 40 years for John Deere and he has a lot of shirts. He still has his old uniforms. So he actually wears them. I meet a lot of guys who wear their old uniforms like out in the public, patients. I had a few mechanics who still wear their mechanic uniforms. I see that that's kind of common. I mean, I guess you're so used to wearing these uniforms, it's just comfortable to you. But he said he's got a lot of t-shirts and he gave John Deere over 40 plus years. So I asked him about what he did. He said he used to work on the machinery. He used to work on the tractors and the machines that, worked out in the farms. So he said he said he always worked on the machines. And I said, oh, man, that's interesting. I said, did you enjoy it? He said he loved it. He said if he could, he would still be working at John Deere at 90 plus years old. That's how much he loved his job. So then I started asking him about the company. I said, did you like the company? Is it still a good company? He's like, he said, it's a huge company. He said they do so much business. He said they have so many different contracts and things that you have no idea, that you don't know anything about. I'm gonna tell you all about that, man. I got a side story about that, but let's stay on topic. He said they have so many contracts. He said they got contracts with the government, contracts with farmers. He said they do a lot of big business. All right. So then I asked him, I said, did you retire from the company? He said, yeah, he retired after 40 plus years. And he said that they treated him good. He said he enjoyed it. He misses he misses the job. He misses everybody on the job. And then I proceeded to ask him the question. I said, did you have any stock in the company? Well, he said specifically they didn't give him stock in the company, but they gave him the option to buy it. And he bought it on a regular basis. He said they didn't just give it to him like some companies may do as an employee, he said, but they had the opportunity to buy it. And I think probably at a discounted price. So he said he just bought it. He said he didn't know much about investing. He didn't know much about stock, but he said that it was presented to them that, you could be a part owner of the company. And so he said, why not? I work for the company. Why not buy a part ownership in it? Very, very reasonable thought, right? Right. When you think about it like that, you're buying part ownership in a company, just like you and me. You shop at Amazon, something like that. If you shop at Amazon and you like this company, like their products, you know that they're huge, you know that they make billions and billions of dollars, you can buy part ownership in it. But I don't think people view stocks like that. I don't think they view the stock market like that, the average person anyway. But he proceeded to say that he still has the stock. I said, oh man, you haven't touched it? He was like, no, he hasn't. He never needed to. So he just let it grow and grow, right? So little old me decided to pull out my little phone and see what is hitting for? Let me see what that stock is hitting for right now. And I even asked him, I said, do you know how much the stock you have is worth right now? He was like, no, I don't even pay it no mind. He said, I'm leaving it to my, is it his daughter? I think I'm leaving it to my daughter. I don't really even pay it no mind. I said, do you know how much it costs right now? He said, all I know is it's been doing good. This tells me he's not the type of person that really focuses on his investment. He said, all I know is that, he says, I think they're doing good. He said, I think they've been doing pretty good. So I proceeded to look and see how good this company has been doing. I'm gonna try to take a screenshot when I find the chart, all right? I got a list, y'all. I have a list of coworkers. They know, there's probably some of my coworkers who watch this, they're on my list. If they don't know they're on the list, you on the list, coworker. All right? I got a list of coworkers who I am always, friends, let's see. I got a couple friends, but also coworkers, okay? Who I am always encouraging. I'm not necessarily encouraging them to buy any specific stocks, but to learn about investing and to eventually start. All right? I'm always encouraging people. I got a few coworkers who are on the list, and that list is people who I've talked to who said they would start, but when I double back a few months, even a few years later, nothing. I got about it's getting there. It's like 10 people. It's like 10 people, and they know who they are. You know who you are. I'm always encouraging them. Start investing. Or if you don't start reading about it, start learning about it, okay? And they always say, I'm going to learn, I'm going to start. Mostly, I'm going to start. I know I got to start. But then I'll double back, and they haven't started. Now, people on that list, I have a few of them who I personally sat next to and have bought shares of my favorite companies that I invest in, and have shown them the process of how easy it is to buy shares right in the palm of your hand, right on your phone. I'll show them, look, I just purchased this share, boom, 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 boom. Show them how easy it is and simple, and they learn that it's easy, but then I'll double back a few months. I got a couple that I've doubled back a few years. I asked them, have you started yet? Did you do what we talked about? And they'd be like, nope, you're gonna be mad at me. I didn't do it. That happens a lot. Shout out to my man. I know you probably watched this. I had a friend of mine. He texted me. Remember when the word tariff came out? You remember when the word tariff came out and the market tanked? The market went down drastically and dramatically, right? Okay, you remember that? That was a few months ago, not too long ago. Very, very, very recent. The market went down. And a friend texted me about investing. Like, yo, you just see what happened with the market went down? I'm like, yes, I did see it. He asked me, do you think it's a good time to buy? Yes, it is a good time to buy. It's a good time for me personally, it's a good time to buy all the time, up or down. I'm a dollar cost averaging type of person, especially into like an index fund. But he asked me, is it a good time to buy? I said, absolutely. I'm not sure if he did. However, from then till now, today is July the 3rd. If you were to look up the stock market, if you were to look up the S&P 500, I believe it hit record highs today. Between today and yesterday, all-time highs. This is coming off a nice dip. You feel what I'm saying? So let me get back to my guy, Mr. John Deere. This man has not even really been paying attention to his investments, and that's the type of investor the majority of us need to be. The people who don't pay attention to them, especially if we invest in index funds. If you buy specific stocks, yes, you should pay attention to your companies. Yes, you should. But if you invest in index funds, set it and forget it. No stress, no mess. Set it and forget it. All right. Now, I took a peek at John Deere stock. I took a peek at the chart. Like I said, I'm going to take a screenshot. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Do you see the activity of this stock? Do you see the way the line goes? This is how you like your lines to go when you're looking at a stock chart if you're investing in a specific company. You like your line to go up and to the right, from left to right and up. Look how good this stock has performed. Now, this gentleman is in his 90s, which means he was probably purchasing stock at a really, really good price. And he has not touched it since. I'm not sure how much he has, how many shares. I didn't go into detail about anything like that. Didn't go into detail. But just look what investing for a long, long period of time can do for you. Okay? I'm going to continue to yell this out based off of me talking to my patients who are living proof. And another thing about this gentleman, he told me that he dropped out of school at a very young age, and went to work, like working with his hands. So he dropped out of school at a very young age and went to work. Just so happens that he worked for this monster of a company. Do you know how long this company has been in business? This company has been in business since the 1800s, not the 1900s, the 1800s. Man, so what if you had some past relatives that would have held shares and passed them along? Good God, that would be amazing, right? This is a generational wealth story, man. If you're investing for yourself, your future self, your future generations, and your future kids and their kids and their kids. That's what you should be investing for. And in the meantime, live off the interest, live off the dividends, live off the capital gains. You feel me? That's the moral of the story today, y'all. That is the moral of the story as I eat a little bit more watermelon. Long-term investing. Not encouraging you to invest in any specific company. I'm encouraging you to do your research. I will always encourage index fund investing. That way you don't have to worry about keeping an eye on the specific companies. But man, my guy has done really well investing in this company that he works for. And they make some good products. I'm gonna have to put this stock on my watch list. That is a nice chart. Oh man. Y'all know I got you on the lessons, man. The investors, the old school blue chip investors, they never cease to amaze me with their fortitude. You know how many crashes he had to have witnessed? You probably watched his stock go up, then down, then up, then down, then sideways, if he was paying attention, but he probably wasn't even paying attention. Remember? Maybe you should be that type of investor. Just set it and forget it. Just automate it and forget it. Encouraging you to invest monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever you choose. Something. You should be putting something in the market. I believe it used to be an option. It's not optional anymore. I don't see it as optional anymore. I really don't. I see it as mandatory. I really do see it as mandatory. You got a pension waiting for you? Let me ask you that. You work for the state? You got a pension waiting for you? The majority of people do not. You better create your own. Create your own. Please invest for a long period of time, y'all. Please invest. Do like my John Deere friend. Shout out to John Deere. I like that t-shirt too, the green t-shirt. I might have to get me a John Deere t-shirt because I've been rocking with John Deere for years now. But anyway, I'm sorry, no intro today, man. These people need to go back to work. Stop sitting in their cars. Why we all sit in our car? Do you like to sit in your car on your lunch break? I do it sometimes. Most of the time I got to do paperwork, but sometimes I do like to get out, sit in my little car, relax, get me some me time. But anyway, y'all, it's your boy, One Physical Therapist Assistant. As always, y'all know the drill, man. Y'all know the drill. Respect your elders. Please respect your elders. Try to do some good deeds, man. Try to help people out whenever you get a chance. Please do. And I will holler at y'all in the next video.